any update on Quinn or Darius, just their statuses?
Yeah, no updates. We'll still, continue to we'll evaluate them day to day. They will not. They're not up today for practice, but we'll keep evaluating day to day.
Frank, you guys decided who your kicker is this week before moving forward?
Yeah, we're going to stay with Badge, right now, and it's pretty similar to really any position, right? A guy gets hurt and somebody comes in and is playing at a very high level. Rod's still continuing along the process. As far as gaining full strength and stamina back, could he kick? Yes. Could he kick? Yes, but we're going to go with Badgley for right now.
This is Badgley's job to lose, for lack of a better phrase.
It's competition, right? It's right. Yeah. I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, we got to do what we think is the right thing for the team, and it's really nothing against Rod. We love Rod. Everything about him. So, but Badgley's playing very well.
On IR, Rod.
Yes, for right now. Yeah, because once that clock has to start, right? I mean, there's no sense in starting that clock before you have to.
Frank, going back to your playing career, what are you looking at?
I'm sorry.
Here I am. Go back to your playing career. Comparing apples to apples. Do you feel like you were paid? Do you like how you were paid? I'm not comparing it to the guys now. I mean, were you?
Yes. No, and I never felt. Probably like most players, at some point in your career, you feel like you're underpaid. If you go in and play and have success, but had a great career, loved every second of it, and I learned a lesson. I remember about 6 or 7 years in, I remember coming home one time, my wife and I having a discussion of seeing how upset and bitter players can get in some situations, and just kind of saying to her, I'd never want to get like that. This is too great of an opportunity. It's too great of a sport. Just want to always keep, even if everything doesn't go quite how you want it, it's just too good of an opportunity to make the most of it.
When Carson came here, did you talk to him about what it was like for you going to different stops? Because you had a different role as a backup for a long time. You got the chance to start. Did you talk to him about how different it is for a quarterback?
Yeah, actually, I probably never really did talk to him about that, just because of the different role. I was always in that backup role, and he's kind of the guy. So in that regard, no, we never had that discussion.
Frank, is there a common thread on this stretch of not beating playoff teams? Is it what you've not done? Is it when you play these better teams, the margin of error is slimmer?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt the margin of error is slimmer. It's going to be a handful of plays. It comes down to coaching and playing, making one more play, making one more call, whatever it takes to win those games. So, I feel like we have played a lot of good football against very good teams and put ourselves in position, but just had not closed out those games. So, we have an opportunity to see if we can make some progress on that this week.
Frank, after the game Sunday, you used the phrase, "Why not us?" Is that something you shared with your team, or have you shared with your team, the whole AFC layout and the picture?
Yeah, no, I really haven't. I'm glad you asked that question. That was just that's just how I feel, you know what I mean? And, I didn't go into the team meeting saying, hey, it's here for our team. I think everybody knows that. I mean, like, this 1-0 thing is not just a mantra. I mean, it really is all that matters. So it's a week-to-week league. But as the head coach, you have to think big picture sometimes, and I really believe we have the guys to do that. So it's not easy. Nothing about it is. So, we have an opportunity, though, before us, and this is a good opportunity we have this Sunday.
You say that there were games like, against what we call better teams, that's a play or two. Do you look back to the Buffalo game last year and say, man, 1 or 2 or 3 plays and it's different?
There were 5 or 6 plays in that game that I can pull off. I'm not going to, but pull right out of my pocket in a second and say, we make any one of these plays and we probably win the game. But that's always the way it is. It's always been that way, always will be that way.
Buffalo doesn't have like a one guy who's got 7 sacks or something like that, but they generate a ton of pressure. How are they able to do that?
They keep their guys fresh. First of all, they're all really good players. And what's unique about their front is as I think, well, maybe I just said it in the team meeting, they rotate their guys more than any other team in the league. Their highest play percentage by a D lineman is like 58%. I mean, that's the lowest in the NFL of any four down front. So that just speaks to the fact that they got a lot of confidence in their depth. They're extremely good players. They're very well coached. They're very, very synced up. Got a lot of respect for Sean McDermott. Know him personally, know him as a coach. Him and Leslie Frazier, two of the better defensive coaches in the league.
Frank, it has to be probably one of the more challenging seasons of Quentin's career. The ankle, the foot, the back, toe. I might have forgotten one. Has his consistency been there? What has it been like from your perspective?
Yeah, I think he's played at a high level. I think he's played at a high level. So, I was having a conversation with this, I think yesterday with Chris and I and someone else. And, what do you do in these situations when a guy is really banged up and, you figure it out. And even if you're not, he set such a high standard for himself. So, let's just say whatever that number is, if it's a scale of 1 to 100 and he's grading out at 95 all the time. But he's so banged up that even if you figure out how to grade out at 90, I don't care. It's still winning football. It's still really good. He's still doing a ton of great stuff. Has he missed one or two things because he's been banged up? Maybe. I can't think of it. I can think of one or two plays, not a ton. And then the one or two misses, is it because he's hurt? Maybe. But in this league, you got to figure it out. If you're hurt and you can play, you still got to figure out how to play winning football, and he's doing that.
You mentioned there were some unscouted looks that Jacksonville gave you. Kind of a copycat league at times. Do you expect to see similar things from Buffalo?
Yeah, there's unscouted looks every week. So the way we handle that is, like for instance in our protection, we have what we call SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. So there's rules and principles of practice that we know we're going to get unscouted looks every week. That's nothing new. It happens every single week. But the SOP handles everything. Your rules and principle handle everything. You got to know where the answers are. If there is an unscouted look, where they can get you, and we have answers for all that within the system. So it's always a mix. We got to continue to do a good job both preparing and playing in every facet of that to do a good job against protection against some of the fronts that we played.
The last couple of games, Marlon's been inactive, and you've explained why, special teams and all that stuff. Have you felt the need to talk to him about that, or you just assume he understands?
Yes, I have had a one-on-one conversation with him. It's painful to make him inactive. Like it's every week that we've had to make him inactive. Like I don't like doing that, but you got to do what's best for the team, and we got to give JT the ball, and and Naheem has his role, and that third back has to contribute in special teams, and Deion's doing that right now. But I've said this, I'm going to continue to say it. I believe in Marlon Mack. I believe he's a really good player. I believe he's going to have he's going to make a splash again somewhere, sometime here, somewhere else, whatever, however it plays out. I believe he's that kind of player and person.
How's he handle it? Some players.
He's not happy about it. He's not happy about it, but he's not a distraction because he's a great pro and he's a great teammate, and that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to do what we're doing. He knows he's a player. He's a big-time player, but it's a weird situation. You get behind the hottest back in the NFL who never gets tired and never needs a break, and that's hard.